House is a Japanese film from 1977 which is so surreal that it's going to make it hard to review. The origins of this film go back to, well, Godzilla. Tomoyuki Tanaka, the creator of Godzilla, lent some money to a TV commercial director to make a horror flick for Toho, and soon after, House was unleashed. House was never released in the United States, only in Japan, and it was a hit with young audiences, but the higher-ups at Toho never expected it to become successful, and when they saw how popular it was becoming, they pulled it because they didn't understand it, and they didn't want their cinema going in that direction. Basically, the teenagers dug it because it was full of animation, gore, and fast-paced MTV-like editing, and the adults resented it because of its success. House was buried for many, many years, and it was only recently discovered, so this is a real treat for cult film lovers. The basic idea is that 6 girls decide to go to an old house out in the country, and it ends up being haunted. In a way, it's just a basic haunted house survival film. But really, this film was an outlet for the director to experiment with a variety of different film techniques. There's romantic moments, comedic moments, as well as fantastic action sequences, but overall, being set in a house that's trying to kill them, I'd say it mostly leans towards the horror genre, and it seems to be the director's attempt at putting a dream on film. A nightmare to be exact. Each of the girls has a name which is a play on words. The main character is nicknamed Gorgeous. There's Mac, she's a glutton and likes to eat. Maybe she was named after the burger. Melody, who plays the piano, and then there's Kung Fu. You can probably guess what she's all about. The film is heavy on the use of matte paintings, which gives it a unique style, and each frame is like a work of art. It also uses animation, where it kinda looks like they were drawing on the film with colored markers, and some of the scenes break out into full-fledged animated mind trips. This movie seems to use every in-camera trick in the book. And remember, this is 1977, so there's no computer animation here. It's all traditional, which makes it truly impressive. As you'd imagine, I've seen tons of crazy movies, but this would have to be one of the most wild things that I've seen. When I first saw it, I couldn't believe that it was from 1977. How could I have not heard of this before? It's too nuts to have missed my radar. Well, one of the things that didn't help was the name, House. It's such a generic title. It's no wonder if somebody would overlook it. Man, this thing is off the wall. When was the last time you saw a piano eat somebody, chop off their fingers, and then bounce back and start dancing all over the keys? Now I know I don't want to be a pianist when I grow up. Pianist? They really need to get rid of that word. Just say piano player. The whole scene really is great black comedy, and I love the shots of the skeleton. It'd be a great scene to throw on if you're having a Halloween party. While this film is beautiful to look at and does have some of the craziest sequences I've ever seen put to film, to be totally honest, it occasionally drags and can become fairly boring. But just when you start to lose interest, it knocks you over the head with absurd action scenes, with mummy things flying through walls, heads being electrocuted by ceiling lamps, killer mattresses from hell, and screaming, fluffy white cats projectile vomiting blood oceans. What the hell are we looking at? Oh man, Kung Fu's disembodied cutout legs just did a flying jump kick into the cat's face. That'll teach that blood-spewing pussy. One thing I can say is, while watching this, you'll have absolutely no idea what's coming next. Can't say I expected that to happen. There is zero predictability with this movie. There is no way to prepare yourself for what's coming until it hits. And that is real horror right there. House is truly one of a kind. It's too surreal and otherworldly to be properly explained. You just have to see it for yourself to get an idea of what it's really like. If you're interested and you're trying to decide between getting the DVD or the Blu-ray, I'd say in this instance, the Blu-ray is worth it because it has realistic film grain, and this is mostly a visual experience, so you'll want to get the most out of it. If you like crazy cult movies, I'd highly recommend buying House. It's a visual feast. Or should I say, fancy feast.